Good morning. It's another Island Tea. Welcome to WinFM 98.9. It's Monday, March 6, 2023, and we've got Island Tea and a brand new addition to our host lineup here at WinFM. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Jamster, and good morning to everyone listening to WinFM. I am your host, Azard Gumbs, and with me I have a special young lady. She is new to the Island Tea edition. I will allow her to introduce herself.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me, guys. And so I'm so happy to be here. For those of you who don't know, I am Candice Franklin. I am, how should I describe myself? Business owner, passionate woman on a variety of topics. What else can I say? Past youth parliament member. Mm-hmm. That's how I know you, actually.
Yes. I know Candy from sometime in the youth parliament when both of us served as members of the youth parliament association back in the wee 2000s when it was like 2001, not 2001, but 2005, 2006, one of those times. And if persons don't know, Miss Franklin represented Guyana at the Miss Universe competition. I don't know what year that was. What year was it,
It was
Candy?
actually 2005.
2005,
And I always slip in Guyana and sink it. So even though I wore the Guyana slash, I still represented sink it.
Yes. So, and she is also one who has background in the legal profession. She has an LLB and an LLM.
Yes,
so
sir.
she has a bachelor's and master's of law. So we have a very accomplished young lady with us.
Why, thank
one
you.
who is going to serve as the co-host for the Island Tea morning program here on WinFM. And it's fitting because this morning it's all about tomorrow is International Women's Day. Wednesday,
we'll
yes.
take the month.
Yes. Wednesday is International Women's Day. I slip, ladies, don't crucify me. And so on March 8th, International Women's Month, and so International Women's Day. And so we have from today, Monday to Wednesday, when we are going to be celebrating women. Of course, we celebrate women every day, but we're going to look at a special focus at our program. And so this morning, we're going to look at women and our nation's inspiring women.
Let's bring it on.
Mm-hmm. So, Candy, when you think about some of the women within St. Kitts and Nevis who have inspired individuals, who do you think about?
So first of all, inspiring women. I'm going to jump right off the bat. My mom.
Yes.
So that's where I'm starting.
Yes.
All right. There are 5 of us. My mom has 5 girl children. So that in and of itself is a feat. And everybody has their own personality. But when I spread further afield, I think of doctors, lawyers, businesswomen. For me, one that stands out is our new Governor General, Dame Marcella Liebert.
Yes.
And I have known her forever, even before she got this big fancy post. And I've always been inspired by how humble she has remained throughout her life. She was a teacher. She was the first chair of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party, lawyer, politician, and this is still someone that you can meet going for a walk on the side of the road, have a quick chat with her. There's never any airs, any attitude. And I find that, people, this is something you should aspire to, even as you get accomplished in life. You should always be approachable. You should remain humble. Positions and the material things come and go, but it's your personality and your character that lasts. And
Yes.
for me, I really look up to her as a person of not only educational and political and whatever other status, but just as a genuine person, as a humble, approachable woman. So that is an inspiration to me.
Well, let me shout out my mother as well, then, because I don't want to be feeling left out. So Alison Douglas is my mother, a very strong woman, and so I want to shout her out to this morning from Old Road, raised me. Yes. And I must say she is a very strong lady. She has gone through many challenges, but she has continued to persevere. So I want to shout out this morning and give her some flowers.
Nice.
Yes. And when I think about other women who have inspired inspired. Let me see. I think about Dame Constance Mitchum.
Oh, nice.
Yes, she is the first female parliamentarian, the first female to sit in the National Assembly here in St. Kitts and Nevis. She's a very accomplished lady. She served as the parliamentary representative for constituency number 4.
Oh, nice.
She served as a candidate of the People's Action Movement. Before that though, she served as registrar, chief magistrate within the British Virgin Islands.
Oh,
And
okay.
then in St. Kitts and Nevis, she is a former president of the Bar Association. She's a former senior magistrate. And so I must say that she has accomplished much as a woman here within the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. And not only here in St. Kitts and Nevis, but when you look at her accomplishments in the BVI, and she has started her own firm when she began the practice of law. And so she has done much. When you look at women's rights and you look at St. Kitts and Nevis in the 1980s, and she spearheaded a lot of the changes that we have here when it
Right.
comes to women being able to go on maternity leave, when you look at women issues, employment, to look for equal opportunities within the women. That is Dame Constance Mitchum. She served as Minister of Women's Affairs and Labour. And so I want to shout out Dame Constance Mitchum for the hard work that she has done.
And I would like to add that I've also met her, and she is also a very approachable person.
Yes.
So she again can fit into my bracket
Yes.
of what I look up to and what I aspire to, and what inspires me. About strong women and women that we all should probably try to emulate.
Yes. And
Good
so
choice.
we're going to take a short break, and we're going to come back with our program here on Island T Win FM's morning program.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
It's not just a new year, it's a you year. It's time to put yourself first and build a strong financial foundation. And that's where we can help. At Sagicor, we have the experience, expertise, and extensive proven financial solutions to help put your goals in the spotlight. Whether you want to protect yourself from the unexpected or set a financial plan for the long-awaited, we are here for you. Visit sagicor.com to get started. You deserve it.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
It's 8:15 and we've got a link up with TDC Dominic. Dominic at TDC is going to be joining us now by Zoom. Candy and Hazy. Dominic Matthews, TDC's news director. Oh, sorry, made a mistake.
Dominic,
Hi,
how are
Dominic.
you? It's all the excitement that we have here in Win FM this morning. Dominic, Paige and Dominic.
Paige and Dominic.
And he messaged me telling me he's ready, you know.
Hi, Dominic.
Okay, we're trying to get the Zoom call together. You know, the internet,
Yes, just a
get
small
dodgy sometimes.
technical difficulty.
Yeah.
And, something beyond our control, this technological age.
I know.
Yeah, so we have, while we wait on Dominic, we could think about other inspiring.
Good morning.
Oh, he's here. Yes, Dominic, how are you?
I am good, thanks. And yourself?
I am wonderful. How has your weekend been?
Quite busy, as you could tell. I may have a few bags under my eyes still.
Well,
And that might be the reason why we're here this morning.
yeah, awesome.
Good
But
morning, Dominic.
I did remember to get my cup of tea, so I have my cup.
You can't come on
my
the
cup of
morning
tea.
program, the morning tea edition without your cup. I know that Candy has
No,
a cup here.
I have my cup. I have my cup.
Yes. I hope it's
Made sure I had my cup.
I hope it's some strong bush tea you're having.
Yeah, well, I'm so afraid to tell you the content, so maybe after the year I could tell you.
Yeah, Dominic, slip us a little note there so we can join.
Yes, especially if it
I'll
keeps
send you a WhatsApp with the ingredients so that you know exactly what.
especially if it keeps you hype after a busy morning. I mean weekend. After a busy weekend and you're still so
busy
hype.
weekend, yeah.
Whatever keeps you there, we need that, okay?
No problem. Well, this morning I am live at the relocation of the TDC Financial Services Company Limited. As you know, we operated on the street in front of in the circus. Actually, we operated in the circus. I was trying to find the name of the street, but it is called the circus. And you are live in the new building. They're still doing some opening exercises, so I'll let you see.
So where is this new location? Dominic.
Dominic?
We
Hi,
lost Dominic.
yes.
Where's the new location? You haven't told us.
Well, I can tell you now. I wanted you to see first.
You
We're
wanted
actually
us to see.
located on Central Street, on the opposite side of the Norwich Holiness Church, which is just across on that same street with the bank.
India look very fancy, Dominic.
2005. Oh, well, you know, when we do it big, and of course this is our 50th, so we got to come in with a bang and start the thing rolling. So we've relocated actually, and we're actually open for business. See, look, there's some persons in here already. We have our management team. We just had the opening exercises this morning. The building was blessed, and of course we will be having a number of special promotions for those persons who come into TDC Financial Services today in the new location on Central Street on the opposite side of the Norwich Church.
So it's open to the public as of today.
We open for business. Yeah, no, we ain't closing here. We open for business because we do recognize that persons have needs, and we're here to serve their financial needs. So we couldn't close. We had to open and make sure that we welcome persons to our new location. And of course, I'd just like to give a shout out to some of the products that we have here. Yes.
What was the reason for moving?
Yes?
What was the reason for moving? I mean, I've seen that section closed down for quite a bit, and I was like, what are they doing? What are they doing? So was there a specific reason why you guys moved?
Yeah, we wanted to serve our customers and give them a different feel. As a matter of fact, from what I showed you this morning, you could see that is a different feel. We wanted to level up, and we recognize that our customers from time to time needed a ground space. This has access for disabilities, this has access for mobility and so on. You could actually drive up if you want to, you could actually use your wheelchair if you want. It's a little more accessible as opposed to steps. Persons can now come in and have the comfort and the confidence that they don't have to wait outside in the sun like the other place. We have added a number of services. So we really want to make sure that we level up and serve the public by providing the financial solutions. The change is really to serve the public and serve them even better. That's why we've done it.
Awesome. And looking from...
We're at the ground floor, so the walk-ins are welcome. We're still on the ground floor, and the walk-ins are welcome.
Well, I must say, as I said earlier, the building, looking from the Zoom, it looks really nice. I like the lighting in the roof. It looks well lit. Something that I'm sure persons who enter would appreciate. And so, Dominic, you're a very hardworking individual. I see that this is why you have been so busy over the weekend, making sure and assisting that this thing happens today.
Here I thought he was partying.
Yeah, not Dominic. Dominic is a very serious young man, and he's from the Challengers Village, right, Dominic?
Feel like I guess in
The anniversary activities, location, leveling up and taking it business to another level.
Yes.
I was about to some of the products that we have here. We have a child investment plan, we have fixed deposits, we have loans. So for those persons who are wondering where to come and how to get here, remember we are located on Central Street now, on the opposite side of the Norwich Holiness Church. So for persons who are wondering where they can find TDC Financial Services, we've moved to Central Street to serve you even better. And we look forward to welcoming you today. Azard and the other young lady, I didn't get your name. I trust that you have a time to come in and do some business with us today.
So, Dominic, are you guys doing any specials since it's like we moved to a new location? If I walk in, can I get what refreshments? Do I get a special welcome? Do I get discounts?
Of course, all of that is in the package. You sure you're not in the building? I need to check one of these rooms. You seem to be on point with what we're doing. Yes. As a matter of fact, I just saw a number of persons walk away. We had about 3 persons in already walk away with some tokens. I won't say what they were, but some welcome tokens for being one of the first set of persons to do business with us today, whether they're paying for a loan or they're opening an account. Yeah, it's almost like a customer appreciation day in a sense for us as well.
Very nice.
And persons can
So I
receive
expect to see
loans
you.
from the financial services there at TDC for if they want to do building of their homes.
That is
and the like.
building, renovation, vacation, back to school, consolidation. We actually have a loan promotion going right now where you can get up to $40,000 unsecured. See that? $40,000 unsecured.
But how is
You
the
can come
interest
up
rate,
and-
Dominic? How is the interest rate?
Oh, the interest, well, you'll have to understand the interest rate is very flexible.
It's very
That I could tell
flexible.
you.
Okay, then.
It's flexible, yeah. We work with our customers and clients because we recognize that people's financial needs are different
Yes.
and we have to tailor those needs to meet those requests or those demands. So it's a very flexible interest rate and our terms are competitive.
Bespoke
think you'll get it
service.
anywhere else. What we
Okay,
do is-
then.
Of course, we do our homework, so we make sure that we have some of the best rates around.
Dominic has me interested in seeing what they have to offer and their percentage.
But
curious
sure,
about the
I'll be
building
waiting
and the
outside. If you
decor.
guarantee me that you come, I'll be waiting outside. Let's just take a pan of some of the people that are waiting.
Yes.
Yes, let's see.
Yeah, that's looking pretty
And
nice.
this morning's activity has been we're joined by directors as well from the parent company, the marketing team. We've been joined by the representative from the Nevis branch as well to make sure that they join in the celebrations
Very nice.
of the relocation.
Wonderful.
I like the layout.
Yes.
You guys
Very
have any
nice.
more questions before I sip my tea from the TDC Financial Services mug?
Brandon on point.
Yes.
I had to be part of the occasion, and it's Island Tea, so I made sure I came prepared.
Fully
to
prepared.
sip my tea.
Fully prepared.
fully
Yes. Yes.
Prepared for the relocation, prepared for the special, prepared for the new experience. It is a new experience that we're creating here at TDC Financial Services, and I invite the public to come to TDC Financial Services. The new location is on Central Street on the opposite side of the Norwich Holiness Church.
Tell us your opening hours
Same
again,
rate
Dominic.
service. We open from 8 a.m. until 2 p.m. Mondays through Thursdays, and 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Fridays.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. So
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
try
yeah.
to usher
Can't
some
wait to see you
persons
guys.
over there.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you too. So you too, not just one, you too, in a few minutes.
Yes,
when
we-
you finish this program, we warmly welcome you to our business
Yeah, we
space.
could-
And I
we
hope
could
that
look
you
in.
take advantage of the loan, our up to $40,000 loan.
I think you
Ready
already
for
have a
vacation?
customer on your hand. Azard is pretty excited over here. So
Just
we
tell
might
them Dominic sent you.
we're definitely going to be dropping
Yes,
names. Thank you
yes.
so much.
You're very welcome.
Thank
and
you,
thanks for having
Dominic.
me this morning. You're welcome.
Yes.
Awesome. We'll see you soon.
Okay, so that was Dominic Matthew from TDC. We have the cops coming up in about 3 minutes, so not 3 minutes, 5 minutes. I was looking
Yes.
at AZ, I was looking at the wrong computer again. but
Yes.
yeah.
I'm-
I shouldn't say the wrong computer, but
the wrong
computer,
time. Yes, jumps had me on my face every time. 2 hours, 2 minutes fast, Candy.
No, but my thing is like he said cops. I was like, what? Cops? So we're having traffic talk. Okay.
Yes.
Traffic talk. Okay, so you guys have anything you want to shoot the breeze about for the next 4 minutes or so?
We could talk about some local news, you know. What are some things that buzz your mind this morning, Candy?
Well, first of all, I'm glad that these traffic, what do you call them? I don't want to say the word cops. Police are
Yes.
coming up here because I noticed yesterday there was a major accident on the peninsula.
Yes, there was.
And I kept getting a bunch of forwards about this one accident, but nobody had like proper details of
You
what
know,
actually played out.
I actually saw a video and
Let me
pictures
tell you, very
of
graphic.
of this accident. and I saw a young lady. It seemed as though her leg.
Yeah, she
was,
lost the bottom half of her
Yeah.
leg, which is, I think that is probably one of the more serious ones we've had recently, because there's been quite a number of accidents happening. I don't know where everyone is in a rush to go, but there's been quite a number of accidents happening.
This is the same accident?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same accident. I
And-
think it was a German tourist, they said.
One of those tourists coming off of this ship or something like that.
Right.
And what fascinated me is the fact that persons were able to take the pictures and you could see completely that her leg is off.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It wasn't even a situation where she went to the hospital and then they had to do an amputation.
Oh gosh,
it
no,
was
that came off immediately.
Yeah, so you could imagine the impact, the force,
Right,
and perhaps
right.
the possible speed that these vehicles were going.
Right. I even saw like a piece of the railing was bent in. What I was impressed with though, I saw a lot of locals stop and they were trying to render assistance.
Yes.
You know, making a tourniquet and testing her pulse and trying to calm her down and just get her relaxed until EMS got there. But I was just very shocked that something of that nature could happen in the blink of an eye, I guess. Well, that's how most accidents happen.
Yeah.
But I am very intrigued to find out what happened.
It's really something, and I want to encourage persons out there, if you're driving, please be cautious. Please be
Thank you.
cautious.
Be careful.
Please, speeding kills. I
Right.
saw a video where it is that a vehicle was impacted a pillar, and based on the speed, if it's the faster that car went, the more impactful
Yep.
the
Yep.
collision was and destroying the
Exactly.
vehicle. So we need to be very mindful of our speed.
If you're late, you're already late. So
Yes.
you might as well take your time and get there in one piece.
Yes.
Right? I can't wait to hear what the traffic
Yes.
cops have to say about this.
We'll see what they're talking about. Traffic talk today is about lighting on vehicles, so we're going to welcome them.
Oh my, okay.
Found the sound 98.9. Win FM.
When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Dalil Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured.
Be careful on the road. Don't make it an episode. Attention all drivers. I'm begging you to slow it down, slow it down, slow it down, down. Too many stunt drivers on the road, man. With the fire day, driver, what's your emergency? It's better late than never. So why all the hurry? Speeding is the main cause of plenty mishaps. The road is now a racetrack, threatening life and property, and all the results of that led to death and injury. Inconsiderate driving, this nonsense need to stop. Stop. I'm making it my business to alert all motorists, especially those who love to break traffic laws. I have seen what speed can do. Here I am to your rescue to help you to live. Just take this advice I give.
8:31. It's time for Traffic Talk. Traffic Talk brought to you by Caribbean Alliance Insurance. And once again, we've got Sergeant Sophia Henry in studio and our brand new co-host Candy and Azard. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I am fine, thank you. And how are you?
I'm great. I'm happy to be here and happy to meet you.
Same here.
Yes, so we are here on Traffic Talk, and we have Sergeant Henry, and we're going to be talking about lighting on vehicles. So we're going to talk about the lights on vehicle. And so Sergeant Henry, do the honors and indicate to our listening audience and those hearing your voice what it is we're looking at. I know we're looking at the Vehicles and Road Traffic Act. So
Good morning, listening audience, those who stream in via the internet and the radio. This morning I'll be talking lighting on motor vehicles. And as the regulation states, all motor vehicles other than a motorcycle are required to have a minimum of 2 headlights to the front and a minimum of 1 red light to the rear. The rays from these headlights should be uncolored. Proper lighting is necessary for the safe operation of motor vehicles on the road at night. All road users are affected by the lighting in some way. Hence, the use of lights on motor vehicle at night must be regulated. And in recent time, the traffic department has seen an increase in these lights, especially the use of blue lights. Blue lights are only used on emergency vehicle. So anybody who has a blue light on the vehicle, it's an offense. And any other light than any uncolored light must be given permission by the licensing authority. So person who have purple, green, you must get permission from the licensing authority. And the licensing authority is the police commissioner.
I'm actually happy that you brought this up today because it is a nuisance to other drivers. Imagine you're coming down the road, minding your own business. It's already night, so for persons of a certain age, it's already a little bit difficult to see where it is you're going, especially if the lights are extremely bright and in your face, and then you add color to it.
Yes.
So it's a nuisance, and I don't even understand the purpose. Are you getting to see the road properly when you have a blue light shining in front of you? Like, what is the whole motivation behind this colored light?
I think a lot of persons, what they want their vehicles to look fancy. They want their vehicles to look extraordinary. And they want their vehicles to look unique. So, and they try to customize these vehicles above and beyond to ensure that their vehicles stand out. And so, in doing so, they breach regulations.
Yes, but for the buses, the omnibuses, that's the passenger buses, they have permission to put colored light in front. That's the bar.
Right.
Yeah, but some of them, we're getting reports that they have this bright light.
It's above and beyond the bar, right?
And the only color they're supposed to have is green, purple, red. If they have a blue, it's an offense.
Oh my. Because now they're falling into a category of emergency vehicles.
Yes, because some people driving and they say, when they look in the vehicle, they see this blue light coming behind them. They pull over thinking it's a police vehicle.
Right.
Only to find it's a private vehicle or a bus.
You know, I'm glad we're putting our feet down with this. Just last year, I think it was, Jamaica had a similar issue. And they were going to the extremes where they were actually patrolling at night, stopping persons, pulling them over, confiscating the vehicle because this entire lighting system was just getting ridiculous. So I'm glad that we're now doing something about it. I feel like there are a lot of traffic infractions and people slip under the border just because they do these things at night.
Well, police usually go out at night and we'll be out on the road because we're having a lot of these reports about these bright lights.
Yeah.
But sometimes when the police is on the road, because the thing can change, whatever they have in the vehicle, the color can change.
So they get alerted and then they switch it
Yes.
off.
Or they change to a different color.
Strict to the government, wise to the
Yeah,
population,
but
right?
once we pull them over, we either let them dismantle it because they can just unplug.
Yes.
If not, you bring it back in for inspection.
Thank you. I'm glad you're here with this particular topic. And I think it might also be that maybe we need to do some more education. People may just not even know that this is what the regulation says and this is what you're supposed to do. They're just thinking, like Azard said, oh, I want to look different. I want to look unique. Let me just hype up my vehicle. So could it be that maybe we need to make this a little bit more accessible to persons? Maybe when they come to get their stuff licensed, they have some sort of little sign up somewhere, or we do like maybe pamphlets or maybe billboards, just telling people, maybe not exactly in the wording of the statute because that's legal jargon, but maybe something that the layman can understand, like, hey, listen, you're just supposed to have these colored lights, these uncolored lights, and you're supposed to have two and they should always be working, and maybe something like that.
Well, persons know of this, but some people are just being lawless.
Oh, so it's blatant disregard
Yes.
now.
Because you're going to tell them today, and maybe by weekend, you see them back on. Yes.
Yes.
Because when we go out and we stop the vehicles, we have the numbers recorded of
Oh
what
my.
of what we stop, who was driving and everything.
Do you guys give them like a deadline? Like, let's say it can't be dismantled at that point in time. Do you guys give them like a deadline? Like, okay, you have 2 days to get this sorted?
Sure. We have forms where you bring in your vehicle for inspection and fail to do so, it's an offense.
So do you guys go hunt them down after? Because maybe it might be a matter of enforcement. Like 2 days pass, they're like, oh, they're not going to come look for me.
Well, we wouldn't go out really to go and look for them where they're living, but we can summons
an
them.
eye out on the
we
vehicle.
summons them if they don't bring it in.
Oh my.
Because we give you such and such a time to bring your vehicle for inspection. And fail to do so, you'll be prosecuted. That's what the farm said. So if you don't want to be prosecuted, you bring your vehicle in the time that you was given.
Do you find a lot of persons bring their vehicles in during the time they are given?
Some.
Some, okay.
Yes.
So not
Because
many
that's what I was
persons.
going to ask. Are there a lot of prosecutions? Because,
Some, especially with tint.
oh my goodness. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
the tint is very high on the checks, and the tint is very high on those who breach. A lot of persons breach for the tint, and so it's very important that the police keep aware and the police keep vigilant as to what is happening.
So now we're adding lighting to the list.
Yes.
You know, as you say lighting, I feel like there's also an issue with the regular lighting. I can be out at night driving and you see one headlight coming towards you and you are so confident that it's a motorcycle. And then when you get closer, you realize it's a car with one light. And come on, you know that you're driving with one light. Not only are you driving with one light, but you're going beyond the speed limit, maybe on the bypass. And it's like very, whatever. I'm doing my thing. And so it's a hazard for both the driver and for his other road users.
Yes.
Because you're very confident that it's a motorcycle, and when it gets closer, it's a Jeep, it's a
Vehicle,
car.
yes.
And I think that people need to feel some force of the law where that is concerned, because it's getting more and more frequent.
And as you talk about that regulation 18.1 states that every motor vehicle shall be equipped with at least 2 headlamps at the front of the vehicle, one on each side. And when a motor vehicle is in motion on a road at night, the 2 lamps at the front of the vehicle shall be lighted.
Right.
So you're driving with one lighted headlamp, it's an offense. And that's a ticket offense, and it's $100.
Maybe we need to increase it because it's becoming more and more frequent. I was just about to ask what it is. What's the fine?
100.
Have you
also-
guys found like that's increasing, that you've been issuing more and more of these tickets?
Well, when we stop people and say, oh, officer, I did not have one light. And that's always the thing. Oh, I know it was 2, and by the time I reach here or whatever, it come out. Sometimes it have a shot.
Yeah, sometimes it
Because when they
happens
come out and they
there.
do whatever, you can see the shot. You go on. So you say, okay, you go ahead. But some people, when you touch it, it's cold. So you know it
It
wasn't.
wasn't on from the
was never
get-go.
on. No.
I like how she said that when you touch
It's
this.
cold.
You touch the headlamp and you see it's cold, so you know it wasn't operational.
And they face serious, very bold face that they
Hey,
saying.
that's a slick sergeant.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
I like that.
She definitely gonna be touching your light. Don't come outside with one light and try to get that excuse off.
Yes.
You're also supposed to have a light illuminating your number plate.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes people say, "Oh, I didn't know I have this, and I didn't know I have to." But if somebody's driving behind you and something happened, they can always say, "Okay, it's P193 who did this."
And again, persons must be cognizant on the road, and these help in assisting in curbing traffic accidents.
Right.
Because if you have proper lighting, therefore you could see vehicles as they approach. If you have a vehicle and one of the lights isn't working, it's very difficult to tell whether or not it is a motor vehicle in the sense of a motorcycle.
Yes.
Or a four-wheel vehicle, because at one point in time I was driving on the road and I seen one light coming towards me. I'm thinking to myself, what is this, a motorbike? Or is it a vehicle, a car,
Yes.
Right.
like in that light? And as it drew closer, I realized that it was actually, I think, a bus or something like that, or a Jeep or something like that, SUV. And I'm like, you have to be able to see the vehicle coming, and then when you look at the light, if one light is on, then you can estimate the size of the vehicle and so how to maneuver, because you're only seeing
A light on one side. Yeah.
Right.
Yes, so it's very important. I don't think people understand how important it is as a driver to be very aware of the implications you put on the other driver, the other
Call.
person. We have a call.
Caller, go right ahead. Traffic talk.
Good morning, folks. Good morning,
Good morning.
Doctor. I like, you know what I like? I like fairness. And fairness is that people should speak frankly, because every one of us are drivers. We know the possibility that a bulb could just blow instantly. We know that. We also know that what happened to you could happen to me. And so therefore, I say all of that to say this. It takes more than the police to help in this aspect of which we are speaking to. We must also help police to protect and help ourselves. And speak to another driver, because lots of time people driving and they are unaware that one of the headlamp is blown.
That is true, caller.
And if that is blown, then I think that we should find some way to indicate to that person that they have one headlamp. The other thing is that if I'm driving with one headlamp, it does not so much endanger the oncoming traffic, but it endanger me who have the one headlamp. Because like someone said before, they can think that it is a motorbike that is approaching.
Right.
And it could cause me very difficulty. So we need to help each other. This is more than the police. And that is one of the reasons why I'm glad that the police is reaching out to the public with these programs. The motorbikes, they are very much in danger to people, harmful to pedestrians alike. I don't mind that they really, but why do you want really in 4th Street? Why do you have to take out your silencer to make a lot of noise in the public?
Yes.
Why do you have to put such heavy equipment on your car so that when somebody is driving behind you, you have to pull over and let them pass? Because it comes as if they're taking out your back glass.
Yes.
I mean, some reason or another, we have to come together and do these things. And one person tries, and the police love it, let it go. And then everybody follow and think that is a good thing. You could have a good stereo set in your car. So when you go to a park and you park up, you could play. But why do you want to pump it into somebody else's ear?
Thank you,
who try
Joy.
to
Thank you,
concentrate
caller.
on something else? Those things can't be right.
Thank
anyway,
you.
I think I've said enough.
Thank you
Thank you
so much.
Thank you, Carla.
Yes, I just want to emphasize what he has said, because it's very, I want to say, it's very discourteous when you have those vehicles and they're playing music very loudly.
Pure inconsiderate behavior.
Yeah, I'm thinking your vehicle and your music is for you and who's in your vehicle. Not those persons at the side of the road, not those persons behind you. you're not having a bandstand
But
and
it's
a
also
performance.
dangerous because what if I'm blowing my horn to
They won't be able
alert
to
you of
hear you.
something you
Yes.
can't hear?
Exactly.
Where I live, there's a guy that I can hear him coming 2 streets away. So yesterday, I was speaking to his brother, and I said, I'm very convinced that you and your brother must have hearing issues by this point, right?
That's to say, they
Hey,
always
we got two.
a lot of them.
We got 2 callers.
Oh,
2
we have-
calls coming in. So,
Okay.
caller, go right ahead. Okay, let's. Okay, that one dropped out. But okay, hopefully callers. Keep your calls coming. 466-0989.
Go ahead, Candy.
Right. So I said, by now you guys must have hearing issues. And he goes, no. I said, listen, I hear you coming 2 streets away. And it is insane to me. So he goes, well, we sell radio equipment and speakers and stereo on the side. I said, so is that your way of advertising? Because at this rate, the neighbors won't be able to even buy them because we can't hear. Right? I don't understand what the fascination is with stacking so many pieces of speakers in your vehicle and then blasting it. Of course, I play music in my car. I play the radio. I sing along, whatever. But it's at a certain level because at the end of the day, you're on the road.
Exactly.
And it is still a business. Yes. You have to be alert in terms of seeing, hearing. There may be kids trying to cross. You can't even see them because of not only a tint, but then you probably can't even hear another driver alerting you that, okay, don't go down there. It's a detour or somebody's there or there's an accident. Because you're totally in your own zone, tinted out, music blasting, and the works.
Okay, let's go back to the phone lines. Traffic Talk, you're on the air. Go right ahead. Okay, that person.
And when you talk about
And
this,
we back to another line. Okay.
Okay.
Traffic Talk. Okay.
So, and you know what? We have the caller.
Hello.
Okay. So as you said that, I know it's off topic because we're supposed to be talking about the lights, but I think what resonates with us a lot is the sound. I have this iWatch, and when the sound comes too loud, they tell you, music environment, the loud environment, stay away. 30 minutes of this constant loudness could result in permanent or temporary deafening.
Well,
And I'm thinking to myself, I need to get away. So I'm wondering, I think persons need to understand the ramifications of their actions, because at the end of the day, I wonder if they have a hearing issue. Imagine at the age of 70, maybe 60, even 50, and not being able to hear well.
Exactly. It comes down to us understanding that the road is shared.
yes,
It's not just about you. The whole carrying heavy equipment, my most recent observation is them transporting sand and gravel. Of course, it's not covered.
Yes.
Right? It's not covered. The big trucks are blazing down the road. All of these pieces of parcels
And
are flying.
and you just wash your vehicle, and you're in a dust storm.
But not only that, it's stones. Oh, we have a caller?
Yes.
Hello?
Hey, caller, go right ahead.
Yes, good morning, Jamstone.
Good morning.
And the panel.
Good morning.
The traffic police there?
Yes, she is.
Yes, I, Jamstone, would like to ask if you had a accident at the peninsula yesterday while the cruise ship was in, and if a tourist was involved. Thank you.
Jamstown? Yes, I made to understand there was an accident over there. I can't say much on that.
Well, them things is simple,
Yes, but that is Frigate Bay.
The university hearing that the woman had to fly out because of something major happened to her. And this is one of the things we don't got problem with the traffic going forward. When things like this happen, the country must know.
Well, I'm sure we'll get a news article on it where everybody will.
Have a good day.
Thank you so
Jam,
much.
so the PRO will bring something on that.
Thank you.
I think everybody's a bit curious, but I guess we can all wait for the news article so we'll get the proper information instead of, because there's been a lot of forwards about it and everybody's like piecemeal information. So let's wait for the article where we can get proper
of course,
information.
Even though the officer is here with us this morning, she still has to make sure that she has the proper information before she says anything. And as she said, it's outside of her jurisdiction. It's within the Frigate Bay, Southeast Peninsula. Right. So that is outside her jurisdiction right now. So as soon as information is collected, as soon as information is received, it will be
PRO.
disseminated via the PRO.
Yes. Yes, and
Awesome.
then we was talking about the sets in the vehicle. Sometimes you pull over persons and have this big speaker and the back of the glass is tinted dark.
Let me tell you.
Uh-huh.
And when you say, I have, yes, that's something for you because you want that. But the law states that 35% of tint, and if your vehicle come factory tint, it doesn't make sense putting on tint on the back. So you put your speaker in there because you want your vehicle to get broken into.
But then can you see at the back now when you've stacked all of these speakers at the back and you've tinted the glass? So now you're driving in hazardous conditions because you can't see behind you and you still can't hear what's going on.
When you stop them, these are the things they're giving you.
Oh my
Because
goodness.
of my speaker.
Uh-huh.
You guys have your work cut out.
So
for
they
you.
tint the vehicles to
Protect the speaker that
so
nobody
persons
can
could
break.
see when the speakers ought not to have been in there in the first place.
Exactly.
Because of the nuisance that they are providing on the road.
So now it's
We
two
have a-
infractions.
Yes, we have a caller.
Hi, good morning. You lost it? Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Good
Good morning.
Good morning to everyone.
Good morning to you as well.
Okay, my car is tinted. That 20%, whatever tint that is not regular. And you stop me. My windows are down in the front, but you realize that my car is that kind of force me to turn up my glass to check the windows.
Yes, sir.
To check the tint.
Yes, sir. It's examination
But
I'm
you're causing
carrying.
me, yes, but you're causing me now to break the law.
Why?
By asking me to turn up my windows.
But I stopped the vehicle and I asked you to turn up the windows. I am carrying out an examination on your vehicle because looking at your vehicle, it's thin, it's dark. So you have to put up all
but-
windows for me to examine.
Yeah, but you're causing me now to break the law
Why?
by turning up the windows.
No, but you're breaking the law already. Even the windows is down. Even the windows are down. You said your vehicle tint 20, and you know the law states that 35% is the regulated requirement. So I'm not causing you to. No, I'm not causing you to.
In a case like that, we'll go to court for that.
So question,
No
caller,
problem.
if she stops you and asks you to test out your lights, is that also an issue?
No, but the light is not a part of it.
No, but if she's carrying out an examination, right? So she can say, roll up your window, turn on your lights, maybe even turn off your car and turn it back on. That is all part of an examination. Are you still offended by that?
Come on.
No, but I am carrying out investigation or examination on your vehicle because from my view it is dark. So I have to check all the windows. As you say, we are going to court. So when I go to court, I can say, okay, the front window was this, the back window was that, the windscreen was this percentage.
So caller, let me ask you a question. When you go home with that vehicle, you're going to remain with the glass down?
If what?
When you go home with that vehicle, when you're no longer on the road and you go home with that vehicle and you park it in front of your residence, is the glass going to remain down?
Hazard, please.
Is the glass
Hazard,
going to
please.
remain down?
Hazard, please.
No.
Let's not go there.
So if you have to
exactly
turn back up the glass, won't you have broken the law then?
But then that's the police work. If the city vehicle parked with the glass up, then it's there to deal with it.
You have it wrong,
Not if
sir.
it's driving.
You can't
You have it wrong.
So.
I am carrying out investigation on your vehicle. I'm inspecting it. I have to inspect all the glass. That when I'm writing the ticket, I can say the front was this percent, the back was that. So it's not that you're violating the law. You already violated by putting on 20%.
Okay, I'll listen after you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for your contribution, caller.
I wanted to ask, what was the motivation for putting on 20% though? What's wrong with the stipulated 35%? Why do they need to go darker? I have never understood the fascination.
They say for the sun.
Oh,
The darker the tint is, less sunlight is coming through. That's what they say. But the regulation states 35%. And if your vehicle comes factory tint, it doesn't make sense put on tint on it.
I guess what they need to do is advocate within Parliament, you know, for the lawmakers to adjust the law. If they want to make sure that they have these tints, they will have to amend the legislation.
We have a caller. Hello?
Yes.
We lost that one.
They can wait till it...
Hello?
Hello,
Hi,
caller.
good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Sergeant Henry. How are
Good
you
morning.
today?
I'm fine, thank you. And how are
Sergeant
you?
Henry, I would like to know when you all going to fix the mirror coming out of the Gillard gas station. Because remember, that is a blind corner and it's very dangerous. Thank you.
Thank you, caller, for your contribution.
Thank you, caller. It will be fixed, but for now I can't say. But when you're coming out, all you have to do is drive with caution. Make sure you're cautious when you're coming out.
But I'm glad she brought that up because there are quite a number of mirrors island-wide, and quite a number of them seem to get damaged frequently. Hello?
Caller?
Hello?
Hi, caller. Go ahead.
Yeah, good morning to Mr. Gumbs and your other hosts, and good morning to the sergeant.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Sergeant, I was very disappointed with the caller before, Mr. Sprockham, for the way that he is getting on. If he have a car, he say it is 20% tinted, and you ask him some question to turn up the glass. Why is it that he is breaking the law? He's carrying out instructions, and they have to abide in whatever you say to them. Because as far as I can see, he's trying to insult you, he's trying to discriminate you, and it is wrong. Carry out the law and learn by the law. That's by getting on that way. I'm very sorry who he is, but you should never get an answer. Good morning.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Yeah, about the mirrors. Is it what causes this damage? Because I've always imagined that it must be somebody walking up to these mirrors and hitting them for the way that they're constantly being damaged.
Well, some is person, some is vehicle.
Wow.
Vehicles? Oh, you mean the large vehicles as they pass?
Yes.
Oh.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
To the officers and the host. I have a little issue. It's somewhat traffic, probably somewhat public work, but I'm sure everybody there needs to have traveled to Nevis within the last 6 months, and I've used the water taxi services. The road over there, even though I've heard it's not necessarily a road, but it's a thoroughfare, and it's in deplorable condition. Nobody's really seemed to be paying attention to it, and everybody uses it, from the highest office in the land to the street sweeper on the road and everybody in between. Nobody seems to be paying attention to it.
I've asked many questions to many people about what can be done. I've got many excuses. All it just needs is for public works to go over there and grade the road. People are damaging their vehicles over there. People park any old how over there, and it's getting unbearable now for people who have to go over there on a regular basis. Okay, so I don't know if the officers there could take a look at it and see what's coming. All it just needs is to be graded and leveled a bit. That's all. I'm not even asking for a paved road. Just needs to be graded. Just need to for public works to go over there and look at it. Okay? Enjoy the rest of the day and listen after you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, caller.
Thank you, caller.
Your concern are noted and will pass on to the relevant authority.
So, Sergeant Henry, final lasting words.
Regulation 18.4 also speaks of no spotlight other than similar swerving lights, you know, those lights with those blink,
Yes.
shall be carried on any motor vehicle without the authority of the licensing officer. And as I said, anything you want to do with your vehicle, you must apply to the licensing authority, who is the Commissioner of Police. You want to get your tint darker than how it's supposed to be, you write to the Minister of National Security.
Thank you so much for highlighting these issues, and I can't wait for you guys to start clamping down because, like I said, it's a nuisance to other road users.
I know.
So I'm happy you highlighted that today.
Thank you.
And be rest assured that you have persons to support your endeavors.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
The callers.
Well, that was Traffic Talk. It's 9 o'clock. We've got Sonia Body Thompson coming up next. And you know, this week it's International Women's Day on Wednesday. And Sonia Body Thompson is, I think, one of the women we can I guess, put on a pedestal in St. Kitts Nevis. She's coming up next.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
Life is unpredictable. When a serious illness strikes, such as cancer, heart attack, or stroke, the Family Critical Illness Plan from Kuna Caribbean Insurance can provide an extra layer of financial protection for you and your family against out-of-pocket expenses. Select a plan that fits your needs and get up to $90,000 in coverage. No medical examination is required. Contact your credit union or one of their approved family indemnity plan providers to enroll today. To learn more, call 466-9453 or visit their website at kunacaribbean.com. Kuna Caribbean Insurance, for all people.
When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Dalil Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Supermarket shoppers understand that convenience matters. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, we know that price matters most. Ample parking and the widest variety matter. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, we know that price matters most. Clean, spacious aisles and the highest level of customer service all matter. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, price matters most. We've renewed our commitment to guarantee the lowest prices in the Federation. Why? Because we understand that in this tough economic environment, price matters most. Shop smart. Shop Value Mart, where price matters most. Farms Estate Nevis and Wellington Road, St. Kitts.
Price matters most.
4 minutes after 9 o'clock, it's Island Tea. It's Monday, March 6, 2023. And we got it's so thrilling to have our brand new co-host, Candy Franklin, along with a big AZ. and we're going to be joined shortly by Sonia Body Thompson. We're just awaiting the Zoom. So what do you guys want to talk about in the meantime?
We can also speak about, I see something indicated. It was a hot topic last week because persons were really wondering what is going on. It's with the hospital. There were reports that no doctors were showing up at the hospital. So here it is, the article says Health Ministry says health facilities covered 24/7 after reports of doctors not showing up for work. Wow. And within the article, it says that WINNFM reached out to Dr. Jensen Morton, Director of Health Institutions, who said that he had no comment on the report of no doctors showing up for work on Friday, but assured the reporter that there are doctors there now. Also, we had Within the report, one health professional shared that at the Paxson Medical Facility, there was a staffing and scheduling conflict that was rectified, but they could not speak on the situation at JNF. We have, according to health workers, there are issues with the new policies being implemented, and one even reported claims of victimization. So, and I want to say also in the release, the Ministry of Health, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Health, Dr. Sharon Archibald, said that JNF and Paxson are covered 24/7 by doctors alongside the nurses. So we are having contrasting stories here by persons, and so we know that healthcare is a major issue here within St. Kitts and Nevis, and you know that persons are vested, and rightfully so, because if anything were to happen to anyone, if anything was to happen to anyone, if anything were to happen to you, that's your first stop.
First
and so you,
only in some cases.
yeah, some persons can afford to be flown out,
Right.
and some persons can afford healthcare overseas. And as you say, if something happens to you, this is your first stop. You have, even if you are going to be flown out at a later date,
You still have
you
to
still
make
have
that
to get
first
the
stop.
first stop.
Yes,
And so
yes.
persons want to be comfortable that, you know, the healthcare system in St. Kitts and Nevis is good enough.
Up to scratch.
So you could be supported.
I saw quite a number of persons posting some statuses about issues at the hospital,
Mhm.
but I still couldn't put a finger on what exactly was happening. But they were complaining about no doctors, no nurses. The wait time was overbearing. I mean, the wait time has always been a bit crazy. Let's
Yeah.
be real, but it seems as though something was definitely up.
And then I'm hearing, you know, there's a call for a new hospital being built,
Right.
less than a mile away from the current location. And I don't know the reason. I don't want to get into the reason of the building of the new hospital, but I have always said we need to fix the issues within the current, especially the internal issues, first, to make sure that persons are comfortable and persons feel assured that the healthcare system in St. Kitts and Nevis is one that is adequate. So I am not, let me say this, I'm not opposed a new structure, but I think that focus must be made as it relates to the internal structures, the internal
Right.
operations.
Right.
You
So
under-
fix inside and then let's
Yes.
move from there.
Exactly.
I also think that it needs the outside and the general services provided should be upgraded. Why do we just need one hospital? Why can't we have several?
Mhm.
So I'm not opposed to the new one,
Mhm.
but I would also like to see GNF up and running, being up to scratch as well. And all of the other little hospitals and community outreach centers, they should also be properly equipped, because in some cases, let's say you live in a place like Molyneux.
Yeah.
To get from Molyneux to GNF is quite a drive.
But you know there's a hospital in Molyneux.
Thank you, Candy. I was about to say that.
Right.
There's
you
a
know.
but there's a hospital in Molyneux. You guys
Yeah,
forget
no,
that?
that's what she's saying.
Uh-huh.
She was
So
saying
have
should-
all of
they
them
should
up
they
to
should
scratch.
expand they should expand them. So
Mm.
each of them should be fully self sufficient.
Yeah.
But I was playing on the fact that there's a hospital in Molyneux. So the fact that you have to think about JNF when you're supposed to have a hospital in
right
Molyneux,
there.
it
Yeah.
says a lot.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, we definitely need to get our healthcare up and running.
And I like that point.
Health is your wealth.
We are thinking about putting on a new hospital, but the current hospitals, JNF, the current Paxson, the current Molyneux needs facilities and need additions that would ensure that they are up to scratch, because you should be able to access these facilities without thinking that you have to go to JNF.
You know who else is up to scratch?
Who else?
Sonia Body Thompson. She's ready to go.
Oh,
On Zoom.
yes. Awesome.
Sonia, what's up?
Good morning, good morning,
Hey,
good,
good
morning,
morning.
all. Good morning, Jamster. Good morning, Mr. Gumbs. Good morning, Mrs. Franklin.
Hi, Sonia.
Good morning to the WINNMedia family. I am happy to be here with you this morning.
Hi, Mrs. Sonia Body Thompson. I'm hoping,
Good morning, Mr. Gumbs.
yes, I'm hoping that you have had a wonderful weekend.
I had a restful weekend. Thank you.
Okay.
I hope you had a great one as well.
Thank you. I had a busy one, but I am thankful nonetheless. I had a little rest yesterday. I went to bed quite early, and so I am wonderful. I'm here and very energetic and alive.
Had such a busy
I'm
one,
happy to hear that.
Yes. So, Sonia, it is Women's Day on Wednesday. And we are looking to feature women who have done extraordinary things. And Mrs. Body Thompson, you have continued to do extraordinary things.
Yeah, you fit the
Thank
bill.
you. Thank you very much for your kind words. Thank you very much.
Yes, so we have some questions here for you.
Well, I must admit, before I start firing questions, I am intrigued. I have not met you personally, but I have been keeping abreast with all your work, your doings, your actions, community service, and everything. And as a fellow woman, and I would like to say a young person, I'm just going to slip that in. I am intrigued. I'm honored. I am so proud of you and all the stuff that you continue to do. Thank you so much for being an awesome representative.
Yes, and
Thank you very much. Thank you very much
Miss
for
Body.
acknowledging my work and for recognizing my efforts. For me, it's really an honor to do what I can do at this point in my life to give back to my country and my community and, just to the world at large.
And Miss Body, I want to plug in that because I want to make a plug that she is a former member of the St. Kitts National Youth Parliament Association, like us. Yes.
Yes,
So we
I'm
have
a proud Skiniperian.
we have 3 former members of Sniper here. We have myself, we have Candy, and we also have Sonia, a former Sniperian. So you could see where Sniper is on the up and up.
Definitely creating
producing
legends.
excellent talent.
Yes. So, Mrs. Body Thompson, could you tell us just a brief about you? Because let persons know who you are.
Okay.
Yes.
I am from the village of Tabernacle. I'm a proud Tabernacle woman. And so everybody in Tabernacle, I want to say a special good morning to everybody in the village of Tabernacle. You often hear the adage that it takes a village to raise a child. And I feel like I'm that child from the village of Tabernacle who has now become a woman, thanks to the kind efforts and support and guidance of the entire Tabernacle community. So that's who I am. I am a young woman who grew up in the village of Tabernacle and who have been able to, strive and achieve some level of success thus far because of the support that I have received from my village at Tabernacle and my wider village that is St. Kitts and Nevis.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
So, Miss Body, I'm going to ask you the question. Why do you think it is important to celebrate International Women's Day?
Oh, I think it's very important to celebrate International Women's Day. We all know that for a very long time, women did not have the opportunity that we have today. And so now we are making huge strides. We need to acknowledge that, to inspire and encourage other women to realize that they can also achieve their dreams and their aspirations. And, we can tear down barriers. We can shatter glass ceilings. We can do whatever we put our minds to do. Nothing is too difficult. You just have to stay focused. And I think the more we highlight that and promote that, more women will be able to come forward and step up and, take up their space in the world and make a difference.
Yes.
So it
Amen.
is
Up that
important.
space.
Amen.
Yes.
So saying that, what motivates you? What keeps you going? What keeps you on track? How did you get to this point in your life?
That's a very good question. What motivates me? As I said earlier, just the support and the guidance I receive from people in the community. And, even I'm now 38 years old.
Wow, Sonia, you're
And I
almost
often reflect
40.
on things that
40 is the new 20,
but
sir.
I'm happy.
Yes.
I think I'm aging gracefully.
You are.
And I have enjoyed every bit of the journey to 38, so I look forward to 40.
Yes.
So as I was saying earlier, I'm motivated by the words of encouragement and support that I receive from the everyday man and woman in our society. As a child growing up in the Tabernacle community, I recall this summer, just before I went to Keon High School, I was in the community and a lady said to me, "Mind you, when you go to Keon, keep on your head, keep on your head when you go to Keon September. No walk up and down the path, keep on your head." And as much as she said that in our beautiful local dialect, I still keep that at the back of my mind every single day as I go about my, my responsibilities, my duties, and what I do in life. I always remember to keep on my head. It's important. And, she said that to me when I was 12 years old. And I'm 38 now, and I still always recall, hey, there are people who are looking at you, who want the best for you, and who want you to stay focused and to keep your head on. And so, and also, I know that there are a lot of persons who are looking up to me, young people. They see me as a role model, as an example. And so I strive to do my best to set the best example I can for them, because I want other young people, especially from rural communities, because a lot of times I don't think the children and young people, especially back in my time, had as many opportunities as those young people who live in the Bastia or the outskirts of Bastia. And so for me, very early, I recognized that I had to work harder. I had to push harder. I had to do whatever I had to do to ensure that I could, match up to those students and children in the Bastia vicinity. And I think to some degree, I have been able to do that. And I'm quite pleased with that. And for me, I just want to leave that, legacy and example for the children and young people, especially of our rural parts of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Awesome. And you've also touched other women, regardless of age, I think just by the work you've done and the way you've carried yourself. So far, so good. Mission accomplished.
So, Sonia, I have...
I don't think, I would not say mission accomplished. I think I still have a lot to offer and to give over time. And I think once I have a life, there's more I can do. So I won't say that, I'm ready to hang my hat up and cross my legs and fold my arms and to say, well, I think I've contributed enough.
Well, definitely not at 38.
Exactly. There's always more we can do. And I always speak about being a responsible citizen. Too often we feel that government must do everything. But if each and every one of us stop and think, hey, how can I make a contribution to my country? The government will have less work to do. And that is why I'm immensely proud of my scholarship, the Sonia Bali Promising Youth Leader Scholarship that was launched in 2014. And annually, I give a scholarship of $500 worth of school supplies and uniforms to 2 students from the Edgar T. Morris Primary School in Tabernacle. And it's given to a boy and a girl because, of course, we believe in gender equality. Right. And this year will actually be the 10th year that I'm going to be giving this scholarship. And over the last 9 years, some 21 students have received this scholarship simply because of the need to give back and to make a difference and to make my contribution and to recognize that we all have something that we can do to make our communities better.
Awesome. Thank you for that. And I'm sure that the students are very appreciative of the scholarship that you give because, many persons come from homes that might not be the most financially secured.
Of course. And for me, so many persons have invested in me, and I am the beneficiary of a number of scholarships. And so I've always felt that, to whom much is given, much is expected. And I always say that I'm happy when I receive, but I'm happiest when I can give back. And, I've been able to, earn up to a master's degree through scholarships. I had a scholarship from the Cable and Wireless from first form to sixth form. I had a scholarship from the Taiwanese government in sixth form. I had a Mexican government scholarship to do my undergrad, a scholarship from the UK government to do my master's. And I've had other scholarships, professional development scholarships from the Organization of American States. So I feel indebted. I feel like it's the onus upon me to give back. Yes. Very often people say to me, why do you give back? And I said, if so many persons have invested in me, I don't think they did it just for me. I have to now make a difference. That investment must go a little further.
Agreed.
And I always say I don't believe that Lord has blessed me for myself. I believe I've been blessed to be a blessing. And once I have a life, I want to continue being that blessing and make a difference in the lives of other people.
I think that's such an awesome mantra to live by. Thank you so much for giving back and for actually wanting to and paying it forward.
Yes.
Sonia, I think it's so important to pay it forward. It's very, very important.
Let me ask you, Sonia, what have you faced any barriers in your career due to being a woman? And if so, how did you overcome them? Have you faced any barriers in your career due to being a woman? And if so, how did you overcome them?
I can't say specifically any barriers that I've faced in my career thus far. For me, I have always been very driven and very determined. And I think once people realize my potential and my talent and my determination, any barriers they might have had, in mind to put in my way, they quickly, decided not to. So I can't speak to I honestly can't think of any specific barrier.
So they were
that is
dismantled before they
Yes.
even reared their heads.
That's why I tell people sometimes you have to show up with that confidence. You have to let people know that you know what you're about. And it's just like respect. You respect yourself, people are going to respect you equally.
This is true. As women, we often sometimes the barriers do exist, but the fact that we give them that life, we give them weight, I think that determines whether or not it's going to be a barrier or if it's going to be non-existent. Because they are, barriers that exist, that it might be man-made, it might be historical, it might be cultural, but I feel like if you give them life, they say the power of the tongue. If you give them life, then you actually enforce those barriers. You bring them to being. So I like what you said, that even if they were there, they never showed up.
At least I didn't allow them to.
Agreed.
Yes. Also, persons might not be aware of where you're based and stationed and what you're doing now, Sonia. So could you give them a brief as to where you are and what you're doing?
Okay. I'm a diplomat for the St. Kitts and Nevis government. I'm currently based in Washington, D.C., where I'm currently serving as the interim representative of St. Kitts and Nevis to the Organization of American States. The Organization of American States is a multilateral organization of 35 member countries that goes from Canada in the north down to all the countries in Latin America and the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And I saw recently that you attended and gave a speech at the Inter-American Commission for Women. And
Yes.
I did some research because I was like, wait, this thing has been in existence, and I only found out because Sonia mentioned it. They've been in existence for 95 years. How is this something that we are not more familiar with in St. Kitts? And what strides have they made, or what are you going to do now that, you've done this speech? How are we going to progress along this path?
Well, I'm happy that you mentioned that. And you may or may not be aware, but I only recently joined the mission last year in January 1st, 2022. And the Inter-American Commission of Women, they continue to champion the cause of women and promote, gender equality and more rights for women and the eradication of violence against women. And I already have had conversations with the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Gender Affairs and Social Development. So we do intend to definitely raise the profile of the work of the Inter-American Commission of Women and to work closely with them to further achieve the goals for women in St. Kitts and Nevis. So stay tuned.
Perfect. I've had a conversation with our current senator, and one of the things that you just mentioned is something near and dear to me, advocacy for domestic violence victims. And it is a passion and a platform of mine that I have continuously pushed. So I can't wait to get into work with you guys or see what you guys are doing. I'm just totally excited about what is in store for us as a country and for women progressing and making strides.
Yeah, and I'm happy you mentioned, that thing about violence against women. That's another area that's very dear to my heart as well. I know of persons who have been victims of domestic violence, and that's something that really, really bothers me. So if ever you need somebody to come on board to be an advocate in that regard, I'll be very happy to lend my voice to such a cause.
Thank you so much, because I'm looking for directors for my foundation. So yes.
Let me ask the question. What is the most important message you want to send out to young women thinking about their careers? What is the most important message you want to send out to young women thinking about their careers?
You can do anything you put your mind to. Just stay focused, apply yourself, and have a good attitude. So you can do anything you put your mind to, anything whatsoever. Stay focused, put in the work, and have the right attitude. I've seen so many persons whose careers have been stifled because they they do not have the right attitude. You often hear your attitude determines your altitude. And I'll say something that my grandmother, who principally raised me, she always said to me, rudeness not going to take you around the world. Rudeness is not going to take you around the world. And very often, sometimes my uncle would say, I wish mama was here to see you, and how far you've gone and, how much you've achieved. And, I often smile, I was like, mama was right. Because, beyond having the academics and, the skills, if you do not have the right attitude, people are going to close doors and windows, and you're not going to be able to enter spaces.
This is sound advice.
It is very, very, very important. I had a teacher who taught me in high school. She told me a few years ago, she said, Sonia, in high school, I always knew you had great potential. I always know you were intelligent. But what has always struck me most about you is your attitude.
Yes.
And, that has stuck with me, because I don't take it for granted that I may have been blessed with a little more intelligence. But there are a lot of people who have good subjects, who have degrees, and they are not achieving their fullest potential because they do not have the right attitude. Sometimes it's just your face.
Yes.
It's how you respond to criticism. We must be willing to accept criticism. You see me? I like people to correct my work. I don't believe I have a monopoly of knowledge. I don't believe I know it all. And I always believe there's something more that I can learn. So if I'm writing something, because from time to time I like to pen my thoughts, I send it to 2 or 3 people and be like, read it up. Put that red pen on it.
And it's so good that you said this, because one of the things I've noticed with this generation, it's somewhat of a know-it-all attitude. By the time they hit 13, they know everything. And honestly, rudeness not gonna take you nowhere, right? It's not gonna take you around the world. Right?
I teach,
and one of the things that I pointed out this morning about the women that we highlighted just before Sonia, it was their humility. You must be reachable, not only to your direct audience, but to everyone. And if you have a bad attitude, no one even wants to speak to you. You see people walking around with scowls on their faces. I mean, I probably would say good morning, but I probably wouldn't expect an answer, just because, like you said, your attitude, your approach, it speaks volumes.
It does. And
and, to piggyback on something
go ahead.
that you said, in terms of what advice I would give to young people, it's important to realize that sometimes you're not going to achieve your goals at the time that you expect to. It took me quite a long time to get into my career of diplomacy. I graduated university in 2009 with a degree in international relations and speaking fluent Spanish because I pursued my undergraduate in Mexico. And I was not able to join the Foreign Service until 2015. I mean, those years definitely, they were challenging, and, I felt discouraged at different points, but I found other opportunities where I could harness my skills so that when the time came, I was ready to serve and to serve well. So if you are right now in that situation, do not give up hope. Continue finding opportunities to showcase your skills, showcase your talent. People will realize what you're capable of, and there'll be people rooting for you. I remember I was at a function in 2014, and a lady said to me, she said, you should be in Foreign Affairs. And I remember one morning the lady gave me a call. She said, send me your CV now. And you'll be surprised just by how you show up, how you speak, how you present yourself.
Yes.
People are going to open doors for you. Do not become discouraged.
And
Rome was not built
makes me,
in a day.
It makes me think about the quote, Sonia, before you go on, that opportunities delayed are not opportunities denied, or blessings delayed are not blessings denied.
Exactly. And sometimes God is allowing you to grow, to mature, to further equip you. So when you get to that stage where you want to get to, you're even more ready than you think you were ready and the other points before in your life.
Yes.
Because definitely when I showed up at Foreign Affairs, I was more mature. I was certainly more ready to, conquer the challenges that lay ahead of me then. So don't give up hope. I recall when I did my first job interview, I still had on my CV, my objective was to become a foreign service officer, even though that interview was with the financial secretary for a job in the Ministry of Finance. And I remember her saying, do you realize what your CV, the objective of your CV said? I was like, yes, I know what it says. This is my ultimate objective.
Right.
I would like to work in the foreign service.
Just a stepping
And
stone
although I'm
here.
here for an interview with you, you still never know. She may know somebody she could talk to as well.
Oh my goodness. Good one. Good job.
Yes.
You have
Always
to be determined.
prepared.
You have to be determined and don't lose sight of your goals. If you're not accomplishing them in 2023, hey, maybe it's going to happen in 2024, but continue to equip yourself.
Right.
Sharpen your
Keep the
skills.
faith. Yes, yes. I love it.
Show people what you can do, what you're capable of. And don't walk around with a frown because you did not achieve your goal on March 1st. I mean, there's still other days in March.
Agreed. And I think that's sound advice. Hell, I'm going to jump on it as well. And it's an expression of faith. You know, like you said, it might just be that you're probably not ready. God is still grooming you. And I mean, I know we all don't share the same faith, but faith is the same in every language and religion. It's, you know, you sit back and you prepare for the opportunities that you're hoping to experience. And I think your advice is sound. Thank you so much for that tidbit.
Let me ask you,
and
Sonia.
it's interesting.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Oh.
No, it's interesting you said that because recently I was listening another radio station and an elderly lady, she called into the radio station. I think they were playing an excerpt from that same speech I gave at the Permanent Council of the Organization of American States. And she said, she spoke to the rise of Miss Body. And she actually reflected on when I worked in the VAT unit.
Yeah.
And I was quite shocked. That was 2010, 2011. That was the first job I had coming out of university. It wasn't the job I wanted, but it's the job that I got.
Right.
And I did it to the best of my ability. And she said, you know, the rise of Miss Body, you know, Miss Body starting the VAT unit. And I was shocked because sometimes we don't realize how people are actually paying attention to what we're doing. And that was 2010. We're now in 2023. And this elderly lady still recalls hearing me on the radio speaking about the VAT, the value added tax. Now today, I'm on the radio and my conversation is different. I'm speaking about diplomacy and advocating.
But you made an impression.
And representing St. Kitts and Nevis in the international community. So it shows that, you know, sometimes you have to take the baby steps and then you start taking the medium steps and then the bigger steps.
Thank you so much for all the steps that you've made, and we can see your growth. Like I said, I have not met you personally, but I've been following your journey, and I am definitely proud as a fellow woman and as a young person. Thank you so much for all that you've done and that you continue to do, and I look forward to hearing great things from
But
you.
before you go, Sonia, as an inspiring woman within the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, give me a woman who inspires you.
You know what? I think people often expect people to say a famous person or a politician. I'm inspired every day by the everyday women within our communities who take the time out of their busy schedules to give advice, support, and guidance to other people's children.
Yes.
Those are the women who inspire me. And so I don't want to name drop right now because
Yes.
I don't want not to mention. And there's so many women. And as I said, it's the everyday women in our St. Kitts and Nevis society who take the time out. It's important because I was not raised by my mother. I wasn't raised by any of my parents. But I'm happy that there were so many women who took the time out and recognized and saw my potential and decided that, hey, I'm going to help to keep Sonia Body on the right path. I'm going to say, go Sonia, go. Go Sonia, go. You can do it. You can be an inspiration. We're here for you. We support you. We love you. Continue to do your best. These are the women who inspire me. And there are many of them from all walks of life in St. Kitts and Nevis, from the people cleaning the drain to those in big offices. There is just so many women in St. Kitts and Nevis. So I don't want to single out one person because I'm inspired by so many women in our country.
Excellent choice.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Yes,
much.
so much. Yes.
Continue to enjoy the rest of your week. And as we celebrate Women's Day on Wednesday, we look forward to more great things from you.
Well, thank you very much to the WINNMedia family for the opportunity. Happy International Women's Day to you as well, Miss Franklin. And Mr. Gumbs, don't feel bad. International Men's Day will come later in the year.
Yes. Yes, of course.
It's been an absolute delight to be a part of this conversation. I haven't had my teas yet, so this was a really good cup of island tea to start my day with.
Yes.
Awesome. We'll send you a special
and
recipe.
I think it was
Yes.
certainly a brilliant way to start the week where we celebrate our women. And I just wanted to say to each and every woman listening that you are amazing. You have potential. Just go out there and exploit that potential and be great and be an inspiration to every woman and man in the world. Not because we're celebrating women, we don't want to forget the men, because men also support us in our endeavors as well. And so I am extremely grateful to all the men as well who have over the years contributed to my success and have continued to support me and encourage me.
Thank you so much.
Sounds good.
Sonia.
Yes, wonderful.
It's 9:36, and that was Sonia Body Thompson weighing in 2 days before
International Women's Day. Yes.
So we're going to head to a break and come back. We're going to hear from Rams. And when we come back, we're going to be discussing the music festival lineup. You guys can tell us what you think. And also the fact that Barbados is actually scrapping the Soko Monarch. And anything else you guys want to talk about? Yes. We'll
Jams,
talk
I
about
know
it.
that is hurting you.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Sardine have a new vibe. Brunswick Sardine have a new. Brunswick Sardine Filet. It have a new vibe. You hear what me say? Run go to your favorite supermarket or corner shop and grab a couple things today. Cause this a sitting where everybody a go like. Brunswick Sardine have a new vibe. 5 different flavors for you to try. Brunswick Sardine have a new vibe. Plus it boneless. Oh yes, that's right. Brunswick Sardine have a new vibe. And with nutrition in every bite, it tastes nice. Brunswick Sardine have a new vibe.
Hey kids, drink healthy.
Reduce sugar chubby with the same great taste. Lots of magic fruity flavors, drink the more healthy way.
It tastes so yummy, chubby, chubby, yummy.
25% less sugar chubby. Be active, be healthy, drink lots of chubby. Kicking football, playing cricket, having fun in the sun.
It's chubby.
Reduced sugar chubby keeps you cool and refreshed.
It tastes so yummy, chubby, chubby, yummy.
25% less sugar chubby. Jumping rope, running races, have fun.
It tastes so yummy, chubby.
Drink the more healthy way.
$9:40, we're back with the final, make that 9:38, the final 22 minutes of Island Tea. And once again, we are saying a big welcome to our brand new co-host, Candice Franklin. Candy, once again, I think I've said it a million times already. Nice to have you.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
It's a pleasure
Okay.
being here. I've known Jamster for quite some time.
Yes.
I mean, I've done a radio show as a kid. I did a program called Elements of Surprise.
Yes.
Every Saturday morning as what I would term, I guess, a kid now, but I was actually probably a young adult, like teens.
Yes.
And I worked with Jamster then, and then I met Azard through Youth Parliament when he was a youngster himself.
Yes.
So I feel quite at home here. Thank you guys for having me.
Yes, and you know, I knew Jamso before coming here. In fact, we judged some of the Calypso competitions together.
Oh my,
Yes.
I did not know you had thrown your hat into that ring.
Yeah.
So
he's a real chocolate. Yeah. Or maybe I should say I don't know Calypsonus from Old Road. I was gonna, I'm always thinking he's from Sandy Point. I was about to say he's a real star shield, but then I remember he's from Old.
Yes, but
He has been dropping his little Old Road tidbits all morning. How could you miss that?
Yes. And also I have family in Sandy Point as well. My father is from Sandy Point and he grew up in Sandy Point. So I don't.
Okay, maybe that's.
I don't shy away from saying that as well. But as Jamsa said, we were looking at the music festival lineup was given yesterday, not the entire,
Right.
but some of the reveals.
Oh, so it's not the
first
entire?
wave. No, the
Not
first wave.
wave.
Yeah.
How many waves are we gonna have?
I don't know.
Well, because remember it's 3 nights, so that's about 1.5 nights. I
What
would
do
say.
we feel
yeah.
about this first wave?
Yeah, the music festival. Let's see what Jamster has to say, because Jamster is a
music
musical
person,
person.
Well, I don't know about that, but anyway.
Let's hear.
No, well, I kind of like it, and knowing it's the first
Mhm.
wave, I can't really pass judgment. I'm not really a fan of Air Supply, but I know people like them, so
Yes.
that's fine.
I
That's fine.
love Air Supply. I grew up listening to Air Supply. Like, I get into a zone. I can't sing to save my life. That never stops me. I love Air Supply.
No,
Yeah.
you see, the thing about being a DJ is you have to understand it's not about you. You have to be able to play what people like. So I get it. I know a lot of people love Air Supply, but at least I'm putting it out there. I don't particularly like them, but I understand that I'm probably in the minority. So
There was a comment that someone made, and it was posted in our chat. It says, nothing about the music festival said book a flight. Underwhelming for 25th anniversary. Fingers still crossed.
that's a little
Oh,
unfair
my.
because it's the
Yeah.
first wave.
Yeah,
so
it is
you
still
can't
the
really
first
pass
wave.
judgment.
So do we know when they're going to do the other reveal? Because I kind of thought when they were doing this reveal that they were just gonna drop everything and say whatever.
I guess
'Cause
they
we
want to
people
keep
to book those flights.
Yeah.
But also, you have to remember, they're probably still negotiating with other acts. So until some of these people confirm, they can't really confirm all,
Right.
and you can't confirm all at the same time.
Fair
That's the
enough.
other thing.
Fair enough.
Yes.
And so we have a
And then
match.
I think
We have about 3 months.
persons still want to have some level of anticipation as to what's happening. Granted that we've had music festival reveals much earlier,
Right,
in the
right.
past. I think sometime when we had the former team, who, because there's a change in team, the former
Right.
team would have pushed an early release of the artist, an early release of who's there, and of course, the benefits of that, because persons could plan in advance as to whether or not they want
Airline
to.
tickets,
Yeah.
Airbnb, hotel reservations, even clothing.
Well,
Women, we have to get
yeah.
ourselves organized.
So I mean, they're a couple months to go still. So let's hope that everything
yes,
goes
exactly.
well.
It's like 4 months left.
Yeah. So let's hope that person still book that ticket to come to the St. Kitts Music Festival, the 25th anniversary.
One of the things I noticed the minister Marsha said was that it was going to be kind of a best of, and I have to say, having a best of music festival might not be the best way to say it. What she should have said is maybe they were gonna bring back some of the key attractions from the past.
Right.
Without calling it the best of, because I thought saying a best of gave the impression that you were just bringing back everyone.
Who would have been one of your best of?
Yeah.
Well, it would be nice if we could get Chris Brown, because if they're gonna bring Air Supply, how about Chris Brown?
Oh my. So you're a Chris Brown fan?
No, because my reasoning is, right, Chris Brown is pretty huge. He just put out a song with, Chloe and Halle.
Right,
He just put out a song with Chloe Bailey. She has a solo album coming out 2 weeks. 2 weeks from now.
Right. I like Chris Brown and I like
So
Chloe and Halle.
I think you can't go wrong if you book Chris Brown. In terms of who I would like to see, personally, I really thought that my personal preference would have been, if I was doing the festival, is okay. I probably would have been spending a lot more money, but I personally would be would be.
But
going,
Jamsa, is the 25th you want something grand?
Here's what I was thinking. You spend you have like 3 to 4 artists, no more than 4 artists per night, but you bring really big artists. So I was thinking, let's say Saturday night you had Rihanna.
Oh my.
Right? So you have Rihanna as the headliner.
Remember, she's pregnant.
No, I know. I'm just just for example. Just for example. But that's the thing. It's the 25th anniversry.
You want
but at the
something
same time,
spectacular.
Yes, but at the same time, you're bringing artists that are sure to bring people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You had Bruno Mars maybe Friday night. And then say the Thursday night. Okay, the Thursday night you leave that as a soca night. You could probably throw in a couple reggae acts. But say you have Chronics, so you have Rihanna on Saturday night along with Chronics and Coffee. Yeah, I in fact I love the fact that they booked those, because I was actually talking to someone with that over the weekend that I know that they were booked for 2020.
Yeah,
that's
what I'm thinking. Coffee was to me based on my she was booked before.
Yeah, so that's one of the reasons they're there. And then Friday night, say you book a Bruno Mars or Silk Sonic, and you pick a few other artists, and you're good. Byron Messiah
Let me
could.
ask a question though. Do you guys think, because I'm in a group with quite a number of persons, and we're all having this music festival discussion. And someone mentioned that some of the delay might have been from Echo getting all of those licensing and agreements in place and sorted. Do you guys give any credence to that? Do you think that might be a reason for some of the delay, where persons have to get these licensing done, because now Echo is a force to be reckoned with, and it's very prevalent in St. I mean, I know there was an issue a few years back with Patrice, and I see Patrice now is back on the roster. So do we know anything of that? Do we think that might be an issue?
I think that's an interesting take on it. I think that's something that we could perhaps discuss.
I kind of see where she's going. We can't say for sure.
Yeah, we can't say for sure.
I know for a fact that there was some issue where maybe they hadn't paid for a while or something, or there was some miscommunication between them and Echo. So yeah,
I think
it's
it
entirely plausible.
I think it perhaps would be a good idea if we could get someone from the Ministry of Tourism who has some sort of insight, maybe to have an interview with us one of these times, if they are willing to do so, about the music festival.
Put to rest some of the circulating rumors.
I don't think that's not gonna be too hard to sort out, though. I mean, the government is the government, we just whip those Echo people into the
Oh my goodness. I mean, I do appreciate and understand the work that they're doing, and I honestly value it. Coming from a legal perspective, I did intellectual property when I studied law, and it is something that we as the Caribbean have been lacking for quite some time. My paper, I had to actually do a paper for intellectual property, and I did it on copyright. And that is when I realized that we didn't necessarily have a legislation like that in St. Kitts. And this is when I did my bachelor's years ago. So I had to actually focus on copyright laws of Guyana, and they were so antiquated. And I think that, Echo coming on the scene is going to draw quite a lot of attention, and they're going to educate us. And I know my friend Gian in the intellectual property office will be very happy to hear that I'm bringing forward intellectual property law, because we take it for granted that copyright and trademarks and patents, they do exist in the wider world. And if we are going to stamp our authority and make ourselves known and become one of the developing countries, these are some of the things that we need to become au fait with, and some of the things that we need to take advantage of.
I mean, as you indicate with Jihan, I know she has been an advocate for, intellectual property. She often posts about her passion on her social media, Facebook page. So I'm sure that in looking at the developments and the progress that ECHO has made in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, I'm sure she's happy and she's feeling at least some level of content as it relates to that. I mean, it would be it would be interesting. Perhaps one time we could invite her on the show to speak about ECHO and its impact and what is happening here in St. Kitts and Nevis as it relates to the music industry.
You guys realize that we've been yapping and we actually didn't call out the lineup so far.
Oh yes, we haven't. Yeah. We assume that persons have already heard.
Well, there've been so much memes and posts about it. I think most persons are aware of the lineup, but take it away, Jamster.
Take it away, Jamster.
Okay, so we have Air Supply, Chronics, who I really want to see, Skinny Fabulous, Coffee, Patrice Roberts, Valiant, that's a dancehall artist. Skilly Bang, not a dancehall artist. Governor, Byron Messiah, and Grandmaster. So for a first wave, that is, I gotta say, that's pretty decent.
Bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's banging already. You have Chronics, you have Patrice, you have Coffee, you have Skinny, you have Skilly Bang, you have Valiant, you have Grandmasters. That's,
Well,
I mean,
I will be very frank. I had no clue who this governor person.
Oh, he's a dancehall artist,
Governor
yeah.
and Skilly Bang and all of those fancy people were. So I was
Valiant.
Like, well, Valiant. I actually know one of his
Uh-huh.
songs because it is so popular.
Yes.
But don't ask me the name. I just know back of the class, don't have no subjects. That's the only thing I know.
yeah, the dance guy.
Right? So I was asking my staff, I was asking my sisters, like, who are these people? So headed to YouTube. So I've heard the songs. I just didn't know who the artists were. And for the longest while, I'll be very honest, I kept thinking Skilly Bang and Sken were the same person.
Oh. Yes, I know what you mean. I remember, and they came out around the same time too.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I kept mixing them up all the time.
Well, I guess Music Festival is an educational, information opportunity for some artists that you're not aware to get familiarized with them.
Right,
Yes.
right. Definitely. Because what I usually do, I go and I start listening to the song so that when I'm actually there, I'm not completely lost.
Yes.
Okay, so the other thing that's happening that I think that's has tongues wagging the last few days is the fact that I guess you guys in Trinidad didn't have a Soca Monarch because
right.
of,
Marshall took
yes.
that night,
Yes.
and
Yes.
I went to Trinidad Carnival actually.
Oh, you
and
did?
It was amazing.
Oh, I hate you.
Did not miss Soca Monarch at all.
Well, you know, the thing is, when it happened, that's what I said to Sharon upstairs. I said, Sharon, I mean, Trinidad has all these fests. I don't think that's going to be a problem. I understand some of the artists will be disappointed, but I absolutely thought that and then I found out Marshall. So
You know, there was a bit of a controversy, but from all accounts, Soca Monarch had been poorly attended over the years. Marshall usually does Marshall Monday, but he moved the concert to the Friday. I think it was the Friday.
Friday, yeah, fantastic.
Right,
Which would have been
right.
fantastic Friday, yeah.
It was fantastic. So even though persons, were upset and they caused this whole big uproar on his page and on the internet, that was one of the most attended event. I mean, just getting into the event took me an hour and a half.
Wow.
Yes.
And that was, I mean, they attributed it to scanners, but it must have been more than that. I could not see an empty space in that stadium.
Wow.
And if you
Wow.
are familiar with the Horsley Crawford Stadium, it is huge.
So I'm wondering if that's probably one of the things that's going on with Barbados, because folks, Barbados has decided that the Crop Over Festival is going to forego the Soca Monarch as well. And they're going to have a concert instead.
Oh my
Yes,
goodness.
yes.
So is this a trend that started?
Yeah,
now?
there was I want to send you the article later.
So
but there
is
was
it that it was also poorly attended, or did they just
No,
decide to get rid of
I
it?
actually think part of it, in all instances, the Calypso having one song, it's money. Because what happened was in Trinidad, they decided that the government wasn't giving them a big enough subvention to put it out properly, so they decided not to have it. And then I'm thinking that's part of what's going on in Barbados. Yeah. And it's going to work. I think it's going to work out just like it worked out in Trinidad. I mean, what I thought was going to happen in Trinidad happened, and I think it's going to be the same in Barbados. They're going to have a big festival instead that is going to feature all the popular songs. So
because if you think about it, the soca competition
exactly.
is a lineup of soca artists. So you could still have the same lineup.
Exactly.
And remove the competition
Because
aspect.
it's a popular song.
It's
so
a popular song.
you may as well go.
Yeah.
It works out the
So,
same way.
mentally we're thinking, there's no Soca Monarch competition, but they're having.
But then all of the artists turn up there.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So did we miss anything?
Yeah.
So by the way, Trinidad, who else performed before Marshall? Just to get an idea.
So I got to Trinidad on Tuesday, and one of the first events that I went to was one with Voice, where he featured Shensia, Taurus Riley popped in, Iowa George. It was amazing. And
Voice had his own fete.
Voicey, right? That was on Thursday, and I was very happy. Like, I actually went to that one by myself because everybody was like,
tired
energy for Marshall. I'm like, what? I'm not coming all this way and not seeing Voice and Shensia. Are you insane? I'm in the place rocking out by myself.
You didn't have anybody?
No, I had a feeling.
Oh,
and
you
then
mean your friends
I
didn't-
I met a whole bunch of people there. I guess they thought, well, this girl is having a feeling. Let's join her. But so that was one of the
But
first
was it
ones
well?
I attended.
Was that one well attended?
Oh yeah, it was.
Oh, good.
But you know something I want to mention, and I'm hoping it gets back to them. I do not understand how Trinidad does VIP. There was no covering, no seating. Rain started to fall. We're in the rain. There's nowhere to go. And I'm like, we really underestimate our VIP in St. Kitts.
Yes.
Because at least in the VIP, it's covered.
Mhm.
And there were a few scattered chairs.
Yes.
There was nothing.
And we even have VVIP, which I think is
So they
unnecessary.
added
But
VVIP.
to your point,
So in the VVIP, I think they had seating provided.
Oh.
But my connotation, I feel for me,
Mhm.
I've never really done VIP here because I just feel like when people get into the VIP, and now I'm having second thoughts. They just go, they sit, they don't ever get up, they don't ever dance. And I've done VIP a couple times, and I've actually walked out of it to go onto the grounds
Yes.
because it looks like more fun.
Mhm.
So I'm not sure if that's what Trinidad decided to do,
Mm.
but there was no covering, no seating, anything
So
in the VIP.
what are the advantages of getting VIP? Just
Precisely.
access, like a quick access.
It's quicker.
it just sounds like
and,
an
they
upsell
have, like-
scam to get you into VVIP.
I was like, wait, are you guys now forcing us to go into VVIP? I mean, they did have a few sponsored bars, so you could have gotten free drinks and free treats.
Yes.
Most of the major bars, you still had to buy your drinks at Voices concert, right? But for me, it was the lack of covering. I didn't even mind the standing because I never really sit when I go to music
Yes.
festival or concerts. But for me, it was the lack of covering because rain started to fall. We had to run into the stadium. The guy is like, "Let me see your band. I don't think this is." I said, "Sir, it's raining."
Imagine.
And then everybody just stormed, and we just kind of went into the stadium because they did a setup like what we usually do at Warner Park.
Yes.
Where the seatings are kind of blocked off, and then you use the ground.
Yes.
So Marshall had a one-up with that because, it was a little bit more organized in the sense that, okay, this is VIP. They have specific bars. They have a specific entrance, even though the entrance sucked. But, if we're going to be talking about VIP, then what exactly are we getting? And is it, like you said, maybe a scam to force us to go into VVIP? I went to a fete that was called Soca Takeover.
Yes.
And coming from those other two fetes, we got to the bar and we're like, okay, let's get a bottle of this, let's get that. How much does it cost? And it was free. I was like, wait, so we're buying drinks in Marshall, we're buying drinks in Voicey, and the drinks here free? Well, So every fete, every concert, it was different for me. It was a learning curve, I should say. And I am so happy that I had that experience because now I can look at our festivals and fetes in a different light. I actually participated in Mass, and the costume collection was seamless. And I was like, wow, because I know my sister played in one of the popular bands here in December, and she didn't get her costume until midnight.
Wow.
The day before actually going on the road. And I actually played with Tribe in Trinidad, and I was so impressed. You got up the escalator, there were people escorting you, you got in there, they scanned, because they made you download an app, they scan your barcode. While you're waiting for your costume, they're serving drinks, and these girls are dressed scantily clad and parading around, and there are monitors with your name and somebody announcing your name. And I was just like, well, excuse me. I made a video. I was like, no, we need to step up in St. Kitts.
Candy, event planner.
Yeah. My brain was...
Just came back from Trinidad.
I took pictures
was in
of
VIP.
everything. I was like... Yeah, we need to get our event started here.
Yes.
We really need to get our event sorted here.
For
but
real,
it was a good
for
learning
real.
experience.
I could imagine. I mean, and so we're gonna hold it. We're gonna hold it to this.
Yes.
Even the presentation, even the decor and the presentation. I mean, it was just next level. And I really felt bad for us. I was like, we need to step up. But some of the things that I think they focused on was letting people service in their niche.
Yeah.
You're a DJ, you want to throw a party, but you want to do everything. So you want to organize the bar, you want to organize the decor, you want to organize the eats. No, there are persons for that. This is me touting and doing a plug,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
No,
there are
you're
event
making
planners
sense.
and event organizers and managers for that type of stuff. Let everyone function in their own niche, and maybe we can get some upgraded events.
There you go. What kind of food would be at Trinidad VIP? What kind of food they have?
So they had like alcoholic lollipops. Well, not lollipops. They call them lollies there. What we call popsicles and ice lollies here.
Yes.
So they had that type of stuff. They were serving out like local treats. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with some of the Indian sweet foods that they make. Kurma, which we call mitai in Guyana.
Yes.
So they had people handing out those tamarind balls. There was bacon shark. There was a station that had
I hear
wontons.
about the bacon shark. I
So,
wonder how
you know,
that is.
and I thought it was so amazing because at this point they're now pushing their food and their culture because they're always thinking on the back end their visitors. So when you go to eat, you're gonna get bacon shark, which is their delicacy, which is what they're known for. They have a high Chinese contingent, so they're serving wontons. They have a high Indian population, so
Yes,
they're
they do.
doing Indian sweet treats.
You probably have
And I
roti
was
and
like,
stuff. And
Yes, they did. And I was just like, wow, these people have this down to a science.
Yeah, my favorite roti is from Trinidad, the bus up shot.
Yes.
Yes.
There's no other roti like a Trinidadian roti. Oh my
Well,
God.
I might have to
Might even be
up
better
your
than the
rate
Trinidad
there,
roti.
right?
I mean the
Chinese
Indian roti.
rotis as well.
I know.
I think he did that on purpose.
I didn't, but
Right?
I
But
must
my
say.
mom makes a mean bus up shot and she's not Trinidadian.
Okay then.
So,
Is your mom in sync it?
well, since you've already touted Trinidadian, I might just bring the roti for Jamster.
And I love the mango chutney with my
yes.
roti.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I find that mango chutney on roti
And you
is
realize
just
it's green mango?
amazing.
You know it's green mango?
Oh,
I actually make that,
Uh-huh.
but I'm now really questioning your loyalties. So, yeah.
Any Guyanese who makes that, you're up there. You're
Well,
up there. You
thank
could beat the Trinidad, you
I
know?
remember when my aunt who I used to live with when I was in college, when she went to college here as a kid, and when she went to UE, that was the first time I was introduced to the chutney and the tamarind balls.
Oh my goodness.
So she brought them back, and I was like, green mango? What do you mean green mango?
Yeah.
But it's tasty. I mean, salt and black pepper and all
They
that stuff.
also make something called mango chow, which it's made in other places too.
Yeah.
But they just call it different. In Guyana, we call it mango pickle. In Vietnam, they actually sell that same recipe on the streets. I was like, okay, so I know my next stop is Vietnam. 'Cause I'm obsessed with green mango and pepper and salt.
Well, mango is one of my favorite fruits. I love the grafted mango. So when you have the mango chutney, I put it on us anything. Like, you know, that place over by, what you call that place in Frigate Bay? Tony's husband.
He used to be there. I think you're talking about Point Siena.
No, Tony.
Is it Coconut Grove?
Yeah,
where he is
Coconut
now?
Grove,
They
yeah.
do mango chutney?
They have mango
where PJ's
chutney.
used to be, yeah.
Yeah, they have mango chutney. And I think even when I buy my quesadilla,
You
it's
put mango chutney in
I
it?
put mango. I just
They
I
have
order.
converted you.
I've ordered. It doesn't come with the mango chutney, but I tell them, could I get mango chutney with it?
Recombination.
Yeah.
But
I
you
love
know, I'm
her.
glad you said that because I saw the Honorable Mark Brantley advertising his Nevis Mango Festival. And I was thinking, okay, this year I might actually venture because I had this misinterpretation of the festival thinking that they only did ripe mango stuff because I'm not a fan of ripe mangoes.
Oh, you're not?
No.
Oh my God.
I only eat them
I love
turned
mango.
or green.
Questioning my friendship with Candy now, 'cause I am a mango
I love
freak.
polymango.
Well, you know what you say.
But I eat that half
You
ripe.
talk about Point Siena. You know, I went there for their rotis just because they had mango chutney on them.
Oh my goodness.
And then I'm told I don't think they do it anymore. I could be mistaken, but I don't think they do the roti anymore. But I could be mistaken. But one time I made a call them just for
Roti
other
with mango chutney in it?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing.
I eat mango chutney, but I can't say that I put it on
You
my
don't put
roti.
it
But isn't that the point? I mean, you could eat it
I
as a
don't eat
snack,
it. I
but
eat it as a snack, but I don't put it on my roti. So he might be onto something.
I can't eat it alone. I have to eat it with something. You know what I mean? It has that sweet flavor that just blends in. You know, pineapple.
Yeah.
I feel
They do
pineapple
a
could go
pineapple
with,
chutney
I
as
feel
well.
like pineapple could go on anything, and that is what mango chutney is all
Don't
about.
tell me you're one of those pineapple pizza persons.
Yes.
Oh my
I was just about to
Pineapple
say
could go
that
on
because
anything, any
because
meat.
you know there's some people who consider it, I know some Italian friends who
Mhm.
consider it sacrilege to
I
have
understand
to have
and I agree
pineapple-
with them.
to have
I do
pineapple
not
on
understand
a-
what
on a ro-
pineapple is doing
on
on
a
pizza.
roti. I mean on a pizza. What are we saying?
is just
I think
madness.
pineapple could even be in roti.
I have 2 staff members,
Hey.
and every
think
pizza
pineapple
that they
come on
order,
now.
it's pineapple on the pizza. And every time they bring it in the office, I abuse them.
Pineapple is like one of that fruits could venture on any meat.
Slightly disagree.
I mean,
Actually,
the thing is, it does
ties-
tenderize, but still, it does help to
You know,
tenderize.
he might be onto something. I still will not have it on my pizza, but when I make fried rice, I put it in my fried rice. There's a Thai version of fried rice where they put
Oh, with
pineapple.
pineapple. Okay. Yeah.
So
It's always cool with those cultures where they use stuff in a
Yes.
different way than we're accustomed to. It's like when I was in college and I was like, eating Thai food and peanut sauce. I said, interesting. No, right? And it tastes good. Lemongrass.
Listen,
they
I hate
season stuff with
papayas.
lemongrass.
And the Thais have one of their famous soup is tom yum soup.
Mhm.
And there's green papaya in it.
Oh, Yeah. wow.
And I will sit and eat a whole bowl of this without complaints.
Mhm.
And I do not like papayas. But I spent a month in Thailand
Yes.
when I represented at the
Mhm.
pageant.
Yes. Oh,
And
cool.
so I have fondness for Thai food.
You know, Thailand
and
is
I
on the
often
bucket
try
list.
out their recipes. Japs is looking at you like, what?
Thailand is like on
No,
my bucket
no.
list, and
You should
it's
visit.
one.
It's
When I looked at it, it is really not that an expensive place when you get there.
It's not. The baht is pretty low, so
Mhm.
it's awesome.
Mhm.
It's just the getting there.
Yeah, they say it's
The
very
trip
pricey to
is-
get there.
Yeah, the trip is long.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
arduous,
that has
but-
just been the deterrent.
But it's worth it. So take
Thailand,
the
huh?
plunge.
Nice.
Take the plunge.
You ever been to Japan by any chance?
No, that's on my bucket list.
Which one that?
Japan.
Oh, Japan, yeah.
So my new thing for 2023 has been knocking stuff off my bucket list. So Trinidad Carnival was one.
Yes.
And then I celebrated my birthday on Saturday.
Oh wow!
Oh, happy
And
birthday! Yeah,
thank
they were
you.
telling us. They were telling us in the chat. Yeah, happy
And,
birthday.
yes,
yes.
I wanted to go horse riding, so I did horse riding on Saturday,
Mhm.
and so that is now off the bucket list. But of
You
course,
were the girl in the heels, weren't you?
yes, yes.
So really,
well, first of all, because I am who I am, and my
Yes.
friends keep teasing me, they're like, "You Pisces people are all so
Yes.
extra." I did a whole photo shoot before I actually did the horse riding.
Where did you go horse riding?
I used a place called Fun in the Saddle, and
Yes.
I'm so happy I discovered them. So initially, I had booked with another stable who
Mhm.
shall remain nameless.
Yes.
The guy never turned up. I
Oh,
waited
wow.
for 2 hours.
Serious? On your
where is it?
birthday?
Exactly.
Where's
on my
Fun in the
birthday.
Saddle?
Fun in the Saddle is in Dewar's Estate. It's like
Oh,
a real
so,
weird
yeah, I know that is,
direction,
yeah.
but
Okay, that's-
I found it. So while I'm waiting for him, I'm like, this is nonsense. I am going horse riding today. You're not gonna ruin my birthday.
Yes.
And so I found Fun in the Saddle online. And they took me, and he was like, "Well, we usually do 2 persons, but it's my birthday." He goes, "Okay, come." So, but
And it
they
wasn't
were
any
very-
birthday, was it, Candy?
No, it was not. Proud member of the 40 Plus Club.
And
One
he
of
was
my
like,
friends
he was,
keep
I think
teasing
it
me
was like
saying that.
26.
We can work with that, James.
Yes.
But
So-
it was awesome, and I want to say that to say, let's discover our own country, because there's so many tours here that the tourists
Yeah.
come and they
Yes.
enjoy, and we live here and we never experience
True.
it. So this is my plug. Fun in the Saddle. They were very courteous. They were very patient because I've never ridden a horse before, so it was pretty interesting.
But thanks for telling me that, because that's something I've told my wife that I wanted us
Yeah.
to do one of these times. So,
Exactly.
So now I know who to think
Right,
of.
right. And people were giving me like so many, "Oh my God, you're going to be so sore. It's going to be so bumpy." Nothing of the sort.
It was
It
smooth.
was very easy. And owing to the fact I did a whole photo shoot with heels on,
Yeah.
they were very patient. Even when I did the ride, so I changed. No, I didn't go riding in heels. I changed, but they were very patient, and it was not painful. I am a little bit sore because I was sitting on a horse astride for an hour.
So don't they
Yes.
have saddles?
They do.
Oh, okay.
They do. It was very comfortable because I expected to be sore and it would be bumpy and whatever,
Yes.
but it was nothing of the sort.
Okay.
So they know what they're doing.
Okay, awesome.
So thank you guys at Fun in the Saddle.
Fun in the saddle.
Fun in the
and
saddle.
I'm telling you, I'm having a lot of fun right now on Island Tea as well.
Yes.
And let me see, we even went overtime. It's 9 minutes after
Uh-huh.
10 o'clock. We're probably going to get lashes when we
Oh,
get
wow.
off.
Azard is going to take mine.
So, I am really looking forward to tomorrow.
I am as
And,
well.
I think we had a great show today, and once again, Wednesday is International
National
Women's
Women's Day.
Day. So, and I know you guys have some.
Yes,
we
we-
have some bookings for
Yes.
some.
So we're
exemplary-
encouraging persons to come to tune in. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Thank you guys.
Okay.
It's been a pleasure.
It has been a pleasure.
Yeah, it
Not-
has. A wonderful program this morning.
But it has to come to an end, sadly. And we're going to be back tomorrow at 8 o'clock for Island Tea. And this is.
Candy C.
And Azard.
And this dude signing
Trevor.
off.
Have a good day, guys.
Okay.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.